Hey fans, super excited about today. We are down here in Alabama, and as you can see, it's starting to become springtime, so that means the fishing is going to be great. We got challenged by a local expert, Larry Melton, down here in the Birmingham area. As you can see, we're on a private little lake here, and cannot wait to see what this place has to offer.
Hey guys, I'm Larry Melton Jr. I run a fishing/outdoors YouTube channel. We're here at Donovan Lakes today, doing a little bit of bass fishing. I'm gonna challenge Mr. Brent, see who can catch more fish. This is kind of like my home pond, if you will. I'm excited to see if a YouTuber is better than a professional.
So it's Pro versus Joe. The rules are always simple. First fish, most fish, and biggest fish. And ultimately, it's all about having fun. Larry, it's been a pleasure meeting you so far. It's great. I always love come fishing somewhere where somebody has to come open a gate for me to come in and go fishing. But I can tell you've challenged me to somewhere that looks like a special fishery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. And the cool thing about it is there's big fish in here, but you still have to fish for them.
Right.
So we're going to have to actually, kind of put together a pattern and have a good day on the water. It's not just going to be,
well, you're the expert, so you're going to show me how to catch them, right?
I might, maybe. We'll see. We got to, I need to catch a couple first just to get the juices flowing, and then you can catch
we'll see. We'll see what if I got any tricks up my sleeve to see if we can't maybe entice some extras to bite. But let's get out there and make it happen.
Yes, sir. And also, I want to learn a whole bunch from you.
All right, awesome. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Larry, we just got the boat launched. I got the power poles down, and unlike a big lake, it doesn't look like we need to go for a boat ride. I mean, we saw fish blowing up over here and all that.
We can start right here.
I mean, it just looks phenomenal. So you said right here is as good as anywhere. So grab what you want. I'm going to grab, for me, it's, a bladed jig here.
Okay,
so,
I'm going to start off with the little fritz side.
All right, with the little crankbait here. So I always give the guest the first cast. So make it count, because that first fish is such a valuable one. Okay. First fish, most fish, and biggest fish.
It's crazy being up here on this platform. I'm used to being a little bit
different than the kayak, right?
Yes,
so I'm envious of you kayak fishermen, just because I'm like, this is just so much more comforting being up here.
Yes, sir.
So,
does that count as my first one?
that counts as your first cast, but we still got to catch a first fish here. Oh wow, yeah, this water's pretty. Now, is there any hydrilla, milfoil, anything like that in here?
Not normally.
And I get hung up on my first cast.
Yeah, same here.
Second cast. So it's probably a speckle belly. Oh, he's flying. Huh. So he's just part of the pack.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's a bass.
So do I cut the line now or after?
No, you can't cut my line. It's not a big one, but guess what?
There you go.
It's the first one. When all else fails this time of year, put on the old worm and wacky worm, and he swallowed my trocar hook though. I let him have it a little too long. Gonna get out of it.
The only way I can redeem myself is catching one right now.
There you go. So Larry, we've went a little ways. So there it is, first fish. We kind of went through the system there of, we didn't know what to expect because it's that time of year where it's changing. That's the thing, when the fish start to spawn. I was telling Larry a story about at home, what I remember growing up, Table Rock Lake, you could catch them really good crankbaits, jerkbaits, just some of the most awesome fish, and then overnight the bite goes away. And that's the sign that you got to start throwing plastics on the bottom. There's fish spawning, and that's the way to catch them. We've seen a couple beds, we haven't seen fish on them, but just seeing the signs of the beds means it's time to change tactics, and then hopefully catch some more.
Keep it tied on. Imitate those little shad.
Yep. Now you've thrown me a curveball, catching one on a crankbait. My way of catching them. You got a deformed fish there too.
Yeah, I do.
You got to get him in the boat first.
Yeah, I'm not the greatest at the no net landings.
That's right. You guys don't get to use nets.
Well, I get to use them.
Oh, you do
but
get to
you
use
don't
net.
get to use a net.
Yes, so.
I was like, do you have a net so I can just scoop them?
Well, I guess we will conclude that if he comes on, he's even got the second hook now. See, you're like an expert.
Yeah, I'll just
got him with the second hook.
I'll just hit him with one of those. That's a safe way to do it.
He's got a crazy back there.
There you go. That's the first one.
Yeah.
We'll let the people watching the video decide, but I think this one's bigger.
I would concede that. Yes, he is definitely bigger. So you've got the second fish and now the biggest fish, but now you've got me off my game. So
it was a worm that I was throwing. Black and blue Cinco.
Yeah, and then you just put that crankbait in his mouth, right?
Yep. I'm gonna do the proper MLF release.
There you go. Yeah.
It's best for the fish. All right, so I'm throwing this little clicking Fritside 5 Junior on 12-pound fluoro with a 7.3 medium heavy rod. A little bit heavier rod than I like to throw, but I have a good reel on it. It's a Xenon X, and I can cast like a little lighter bait like this a little bit farther ways rather than what I was throwing it on. So it's kind of, you know, a good trade-off.
See, that's a bed, that's a bed, that's a bed. So
well, that's good to see.
Yeah.
You tie on something bigger like a jig.
I need to put on a brush hog. To me, one of the best bedding baits is a full-size brush hog. But it's the same with the Cinco.
Just Texas Ridge brush hog?
Yeah.
Bite feel good?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to tell when you do this. I mean, it could have been a 12-incher or a 12-pounder, but it's just the fact that I had a legit bite doing it, and
it's probably bluegill.
Probably.
See him now. He ate it that time. He spit it right out.
Throw out there again.
Can I step back up here?
Yeah, you go where you need to go.
Oh, he had it that time. I turned him, but I didn't want to.
Don't worry about it. You can knock me out of the boat. Let's see if he does anything.
I've already hooked myself, swung a jig by his head. I'm like, I can't.
See, like that, you got it finally.
There you go.
Larry, I appreciate you getting him fired up for me.
That is not a bad one here. Let me get
better than we thought.
Yeah, he didn't look that big.
How about that?
Larry Melton's God service.
I feel like we almost have to call that a team effort there. So it's funny, we saw this fish on a bed. We're not catching fish on moving baits, and I'm like, they're acting like they're on the beds, and sure enough, we came across this fish, and we thought he was about a 2.5 pounder, and he's a darn 3 pounder. So, hey Larry, I think they're on beds.
I agree.
All right.
Don't break it, man. Oh.
We are cracking the code slowly but surely, you know what?
Let's go. I was kind of hurt. It's like he bit it, but he let it go. There he is. Need anything with
Did he let it go, or did he just?
I don't know. I went to reel and throw again, and he was on there.
Ugh. Of course, now we.
Plot twist, we're hung up on each other.
I'm not going to lose my hook if I don't have to.
I got mine.
Maybe I say that.
Do you have to be in the boat for a fish to count?
At this point, probably not.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, Larry.
All right, I got to get my 5 pounder. You want me to land them?
Oh, I got it.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would it be if I cut your line?
Well, that would be a first, but don't cut my line. Get in here. Of course, I'm trying to lose him. There we go. Looky there. It pays to pay attention. What a beautiful fish. So the thing that was really cool about that is when we fished through here earlier, I kind of made a mental note of where that fish was and just kind of throwing up there blind fishing, but I think there was one on a bed there earlier, threw up there, and it was just swimming out. Larry, okay. Tiny guy.
Wacky rig?
On the old wacky worm. When all else fails, throw the wacky worm. So the MillerTech performance of today was all about the spawn. And what I mean by that is we started out the day, we had thought that with the water temps that the fish were going to be pre-spawn. Larry had not seen any fish on beds or anything, but he hadn't been out for a few days. But it started out, we thought we'd be catching power fishing, moving baits, catching a lot of fish, and it started out really slow. And at that point, my wheel started turning. I'm like, okay, if these fish aren't chasing and biting, something's going on here. Wasn't seeing a lot of fish on live scope. So at that point, I'm like, maybe these fish are on beds. And we got up shallow, and I saw a bed pretty quickly, or an area that we thought was a bed. And then we actually saw a fish on a bed. And at that point, time to put the moving baits away and pull out the big stick, the flipping stick, put on a creature bait, and started flipping that around on those fish on beds. Actually caught one off of a bed that Larry and I were taking turns on, and I think I was just the lucky one. He had him bite a couple times and missed him. He bit mine, I actually caught him, which was a nice one. But then we went back to an area where we saw beds and just flipping that creature bait, you know, just working it real slow in those areas where we saw the beds, and managed to catch a couple more. So the whole key today was all about those bedding fish.
I enjoyed just watching you fish. That's the best thing about it, is, you know, just kind of sitting back, watching you, you know, how you move, how many casts you're making, how efficient you are. Show me the wacky rig, a new way to rig that.
See, and that's what's cool. I'm glad you learned some techniques, and it's really cool too to learn about your side of the industry, you know, doing it through YouTube and seeing how you've become a success, because the way I started out in the world of professional bass fishing, it was all about tournaments. You've helped us understand that there's another way to do it out here. The biggest thing is, like we both know, both of our jobs is educating the fans and teaching the fans. You've found a way to do that, and hopefully we get to do it through our tournament fishing, teaching the fans as well. See, that's what happens when you just throw by a stick up like that. See how easy that is? You just throw by a stick up and you catch one. See?
Gotcha.
Not a big one, but hey, when all else fails, just put on the wacky worm. Like, oh, a nice one. Larry, I don't know what the deal is.
I'll blame it on you being in the front of the boat.
Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was just a random cast out here. Come here, dude. Oh. Pretty fish. One more reminder of when things are tough around the spawn, just pick up a wacky worm and don't put it down. Larry, do you want to hold this one, or you want me to hook it on your rod for you?
Oh, no, man, it's all good.
Are you sure?
Because when you leave, I'm going to come right back through all these same spots.
Oh, I see. There
Send you some pictures. The thing is about you coming to my spot, I have to make sure that you have here's a fish.
Oh, got one?
I just burnt my finger.
Uh-oh, don't burn your finger.
But this one couldn't get off. That's my first fish ever on a wacky worm.
Well, see, you're learning. Your first wacky worm fish, so watch out.
Good.
Watch out, people. He has now figured out the wacky worm.
Yes, sir.
Almost a double.
Yeah, he ate it good.
He did do that.
Let's go. That's number 10 for me. It's been a long day, but I'm just teaching the pro today, so.
Well, Larry, hey, I absolutely enjoyed it out there on the water today.
Yes, sir.
I might have got you on the categories. I don't know about the numbers, but I definitely the first fish, the biggest. They were, you know, we both had a couple decent ones.
Yeah.
And numbers-wise, we'll let the camera guys figure that out. But the reality of it on this show, there is no winners or losers, and you know, we just wanted to have a good time, and we did that. And you know, just want to say thank you. Go get yourself some goodies from Bass Pro Shops, and hopefully we'll do it again someday.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.